right, Sort of Sports Podcast, episode 179. Austin Fisher with me once again. Fisher, I think we just watched, let's just start here, the worst week of the NFL season. It was the least exciting amount of games. I'm going to pull up the scores for you, right? And I want you
Yep.
to tell me how many one-score games you thought there were.
Okay. Um, Let me even
You
think.
know what?
I
Let's do
didn't.
this. Let's make it, you
Okay.
know what? I'll make it even better.
Okay.
Tell me how many games there were. You don't even have to tell me the games, just how many there were that were within 10 points. 10 points or less.
Hmm. I'm gonna go with one.
It's two.
It's
Packers
two.
Steelers is
Wow.
exactly 10. And then obviously
Okay.
Jets
Yep.
over Bengals 39 to 38. Everything
That's
else
yeah.
had a 10-point spread or more.
Wow.
We've been having a great season. All right.
hmm
NFL is the best product put out of any of the big pros. Other than the fact that I got basically two baseball games in one night last night. We gonna talk about that? I mean, did you stay up for that?
We might as well. Yeah. Let's do it.
So my mom hates Freddie Freeman. I just think it's a wild choice out of a guy to hate. She said to me, "There's just something about his face she doesn't like." And I was like, "Did you hate him on the Braves too?" She's like, "Yeah, I've always hated him."
What a weird poll. Like how when does this go back to? I have to know like a starting date. I have to know.
I don't know. I think as soon as she set eyes on him, she's like, "You know what? Fuck that guy."
Wow.
It's
It's
just
gotta
incredible.
be more than that. It can't just be the face. It has to be
I don't
something
know,
else.
but yeah, it's pretty incredible. So my good thing my mom didn't stay up. So my mom was
Yeah,
not
true.
awake at 3 a.m. for the walk off, and she would have been the worst possible ending for her. But as soon as he hit it, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." I was like, "You've just got like, it's exceptionally more funny for me personally." But
Mm,
and shout out Freddie Freeman. I mean, I don't really, I mean, I hate the Dodgers, and I'm not a big particular Freddie Freeman fan either. But you know, now he's got two of the biggest walk offs in postseason history.
that's a good point. Yeah.
So, all right, longest game in history, right? Or was it tied?
I don't know. Well, it would have been the longest World Series game in history.
That's what
There's
it
been
was. Yeah.
much longer baseball games, though,
Yes,
for sure.
yes,
So,
yes. Longest World Series game. I think
yep.
because we went into the 19th, right?
18.
18th, and that was
Yep.
the most ever for World
Yep.
Series. 17 was the most previously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, weird slate NFL. You and I had talked last week. It wasn't a lot of intrigue at the 1 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock, which we thought might be some intrigue, really wasn't there either. And it was really a rough week for the NFL. Big week for the NBA though. As far as as long as you're a fan of the Mafia, that is. But what do you think on this? I mean, we talk betting here. What do you think?
You're not wrong. Listen, I'm a guy that loves to get a competitive edge whenever I can. But the things that have been going on surrounding competitive edges in this type of style, I can't even defend that. Like it's just bad. And here's the thing. Adam Silver is going to have to concoct perhaps the greatest speech since the Gettysburg Address. This is a huge moment for the NBA, and I don't know what he's going to do about it.
No, it was I'm sorry, I'm looking for something very specific for you to enjoy.
Oh
Um
boy.
it's the names of the guy. Did you read into this with the Chauncey Billups thing is also absurd. I mean, the
Right.
Mafia, which we all thought was dead, must apparently be alive and well. Like we all thought the Mafia didn't have that much pull. Apparently they still do because they're getting to high profile celebrities. And I mean, there's these poker games. If you haven't looked into it, I mean, they're wearing like sunglasses with lenses in them with printed like things on the back of the cards. It's crazy shit. Like it's like Ocean's 11 out here.
It's awesome. Yeah. I think the less you talk about the mafia, the more dangerous they become almost, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. It's kind of like the old the the worst thing the devil ever did was convincing the world it didn't exist. One of those.
Yeah.
We just made like
That's
a badass trailer for a mob movie.
we could.
They're
That'd be
moving in
great.
silence, and that's it. With some of these names though, Bill Simmons running it down on his show for Cousin Sal, and I feel like I should run them down for you because you'll enjoy this. You ready?
Yeah.
Black Rob, Doc. All right, we got Angelo, but he's not one with a nickname. Looking for the nicknames. John South, Nero, Pesco, Peso. Oh, that guy had three. Jonathan Chan, Jonathan who? Screwly, Stanley, Albanian Bruce, and Big Bruce. Black Tony, I think Juice. It's another one. V Vizino and Vizino Locks. S- This guy was named Eric Ernest. His nickname was just Spook. And then you got Matthew Didino, nicknamed the Wrestler. Flapper Poker and Flappy. Spanish G. Just absurd.
I gotta.
What's your
Everybody
favorite?
else, I don't know. What was before Big Bruce? What was the other
Albanian
Bruce?
Bruce.
Albanian Bruce. That one's just I don't know. Is it just an Albanian
I
guy?
wonder if Albanian Bruce and Black Tony, you know what I mean? Like if they're like, I wonder if these guys. I'm assuming Black Tony is a black guy and Albanian Bruce is a white guy, but you never know the sense of humor here. I mean, it
It's
could be
true.
anything. So that's
Could be. I bet you Tony's the white guy, just to
yeah,
make
just
it
to
even
mess
more
with them, right?
secretive.
It could
Yeah,
be one
yeah,
of
yeah.
those. Who knows? Who knows what goes on here? I want to say, speaking of the NBA and getting a competitive edge, Spurs right now plus 40, sorry, plus 4,000 to win the final. So it's 40 to 1 for you folks. And I did put $1 on it. I think there's actually a path. The
There's
NBA,
more.
I feel bad.
There's a
This is,
path. There's a path.
I had a lot of faith in NBC, and I was very excited for how they were going to broadcast. We talked about this a little bit last week. Um, I think they're doing a really good job with how they're presenting the NBA and making it feel like a big deal and making it about the teams and not just about players and making the regular season more interesting. So I'm interested to see how that continues tonight for the NBC broadcast. But NBC and Prime, kudos to them. I think they're doing a very good job of bringing up the NBA's quality of product, which I think the NBA is going to go through another heyday within the next few years because of Victor Wembanyama going on to be the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for the NBA on Prime, in my opinion. And usually it takes a while for this opinion to be forged when it comes to a broadcast on a new spectrum. But the NBA on Prime theme is already a top five theme song for all of sports. And
Really?
usually
I don't even
it
remember what time.
takes it takes a long time for like nostalgia to build around it,
Yeah.
or for, you have to have that personal draw to it. For me, though, it just felt like I'm watching a replay of a Michael Jordan game in the 90s or something like that. Like something I've never even experienced. It just reminded me of it.
Oh, this is good.
It is.
I tuned in like a little bit in and out on the Prime games. I was more locked into NBC's.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No, that's really good.
Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm a huge like TV production. I'm a big score bug enthusiast.
Yeah,
Like
I know you
that's
are.
my type of thing. So I can appreciate a good theme
Oh
song.
yeah. NBA on NBC score bug, decent. Nothing special though.
The Prime one's bad though. I don't
Prime
like the
one's
Prime
rough.
one. Yeah.
I think the Prime one's rough for football too.
Yeah, I don't think they've gotten much right on the live streaming broadcast type of thing, but
The music
oh
though,
well.
banging.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, NBC has Round Ball Rock though, which is like, you know.
True. That's good too. Yeah.
I'm glad the NBA has some good theme songs because the NFL is the king of the theme songs. I mean, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, and Thursday, not Thursday, hell no. Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, CBS and Fox all have elite themes.
Yeah.
Like you could play it and I'd be like, oh yeah, I know that one. CBS is probably my favorite.
Yeah. I think if you're a fan, well, you're a Panthers fan, so I don't know. Usually if you're an AFC fan, you associate more with CBS, but to be
Yeah,
fair, they have kind of drawn away from putting AFC teams on CBS. That's something I don't like, by the way. I wish they stuck to that because seeing the Browns and Bengals, the Browns and Patriots on Fox, it's like, I don't know. I don't like it.
you remember that meme of the guy when it says utter woke nonsense? I saw that and it was like NFC teams on CBS. And it
Funny
was that
enough about
meme.
that guy, that's my English soccer team's new manager now. So
Really?
Sean Dyche.
All right. Well, enjoy him and his anti whether woke nonsense,
Oh,
whatever it
we're
is.
loving it. He's the heart and soul of Brexit ball. You'll have to look that one up.
Brexit ball? Soccer is much beyond me, but that's all right. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to touch up. I think the big NFL for the memes is Fox. That's like if you're like making a meme in the NFL, like the
Right.
da-da-dun, da-da-dun, like that thing. But as far as actual enjoyment, CBS. But Sunday Night Football, I think is very funny. It's very orchestral, but it also just brings you the feeling of like, shit, do I have homework to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think when they switched it, they made it a little bit different. A very minor tweak in like 2016 or 2017. And I kind of recognized it immediately, but it was like the great transition. You no longer felt like you were going to watch Eli Manning and Tom Brady play. You actually felt like you were going to watch, Russell Wilson, and I'm trying to even think who an NFC West quarterback would have been at that
Yeah,
time. Like,
NFC West quarterback then. I mean, who's is Carson
uh,
Palmer still doing it?
no, I don't think he was. Who would have even been a quarterback for the Cardinals in 2016?
I think Carson Palmer's still doing it.
Maybe.
Grandma
That
woke up
was
for a coma. Tell her Carson Palmer's still
tell,
doing
tell
it.
her tell her he's still doing it. I like it. I like it.
Carson Palmer. I had a let's we'll look into this real quick. Carson Palmer, 2016 Arizona starting QB, 6-8-1.
Wow. Okay.
Dude, tell her Carson Palmer's still doing it. Got it. Credit to
Uh,
Carson Palmer. Is he in the Hall of Fame yet? He's got to be eventually.
got to be the Hall of Okay. Got to be.
You don't think Carson Palmer's going to the Hall of Fame?
What accolades does he have to be a Hall of Famer? Am I
Yeah.
misinformed, or
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess
because
I'm
I think it takes a lot more to make the Hall of Fame in the NFL than you think it does. Like,
yeah, you're
people were
right.
saying
It's yeah.
Matthew Stafford was a brink player up until he won his Super Bowl. Just for reference, and he's like top 10 in a bunch of stats. So I don't know.
I mean, he's in it for like college, obviously. He's in like that,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
but he's
Yeah.
not in Canton. You're right.
No.
Great call. Yeah, I guess the same is like, what did he accomplish in the NFL? He's always, he's always, it's like, he was essentially what? Who does comp be? Like Dak Prescott?
I feel like it's a little bit. I don't even know. Maybe that could be okay because I'm trying to think of a quarterback that maybe went to a couple different teams.
But he went to the Super Bowl in '09, right? He's their QB that year, right?
Was he? I don't know.
I thought he was the Cardinals. I always thought he was the Cardinals QB when they played. Maybe I'm tweaking, but
Well, I'm taking a
no,
look.
you're right.
Yeah, I knew it was Kurt Warner. Yeah, I knew
Yeah,
that.
it's Kurt Warner. My
Yeah,
bad. I'm sorry. That's my mistake. I
that's all
feel
good.
really dumb now. Yeah, my
I
bad.
was gonna make like the Deshaun Watson comparison almost. Not like, not his off
Not
the
like
field
that.
antics,
Yeah.
but he did go from one team to another, and second team just nobody really talks about it. But
Yeah,
hey,
I forgot about late career Kurt Warner kicking it.
oh yeah, Unk still had it.
Tell her, you know what? Tell Grandma Kurt Warner.
Uh,
He's like a 10-year career. It's a
yeah.
wild career. Oh my gosh. Carson Palmer's wow. So I'm gonna share my screen with you real quick. Anybody who's
Okay.
watching this on the because it's on as a video for those of you that don't realize. You got to see this, man. This is tough. All right. You're seeing the screen?
I am.
Look at that photo of Carson Palmer on Pro Football Reference. That
Wow.
looks like he just got back from his bender in like Las Vegas and showed up for practice Monday morning. They had a Thursday night game. They're like, Carson, what's going on? He's
Based
like,
on like
yeah,
the
I was
jersey
I was hanging out
mesh,
with Albanian Bruce and Black Tony. Getting rough.
that's got to be like a 2012, 2013 picture. And they're like, "Hey, Carson, I
Carson,
know
come home.
it's
The kids miss you.
yeah. I know you were the team last night. You guys were out having a great time, but we need your picture, man." And he's just like,
He's
"All
like,
right,
shit, picture
man.
day was today.
Yeah, it's today. I thought that was next Tuesday." It's
No.
like, Carson, it's Saturday. Like,
Like, whoa,
yeah.
Carson. Santa Margarita Catholic. First overall pick.
Why
Carson
didn't I know
Palmer.
that?
You know his first overall pick?
Maybe I did. I don't know.
It's Joe Burrow's comp. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Are you though? I mean,
Joe
we'll
Burrow
see.
gonna go to the Hall of Fame? Like at this pace? Probably not.
At this pace, no, because he can't stay healthy.
Yeah. I mean, and there's no MVPs. He's got one AFC championship.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a fun game for you, right? If I said to you right now, for what it's worth, my mom loved your answer the time I asked you Browns or Jets. So we're gonna see how you
Okay.
do on this one.
All
If I
right.
asked you right now, who's going to the Hall of Fame? Only, and you can say one or both, Herbert or Burrow. Who do you think?
Can I say neither? Or do I have to pick one?
Oh, Yeah, you can say neither.
Okay, the answer is neither. Neither of which have done anything. I don't think you know how hard it is to get into the Hall of Fame.
I know,
Like
I
Matt,
understand. I'm saying you're
yeah.
guessing on the rest of their career. You're saying they're not making
Okay.
it.
Oh, I don't know. Are we assuming that Joe Burrow's finally going to say, like, I'm tired of
You're
this
up. It's
and
up
I'm
to you.
leaving?
It's up to you.
Okay. I think Joe Burrow leaves Cincinnati and wins somewhere else. I think that happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Okay. Ohio's own.
I truly think, and this, like, Joe Burrow's situation, it's going to be a chaotic one. Like, this is a very, very flaming hot take. It will ruin the Cincinnati Bengals to the point where they leave the city. They go to St. Louis. I'm ready to put that on the map. Their ownership has said multiple times they are not attached to the city. And I think Joe Burrow is such a staple of Cincinnati that when he goes, the team goes.
Austin, I just have to say, I gave you a relatively normal question, and you just, like
I
you
did.
just
I really did.
completely shot it all the way over there. I mean, credit to you. Like, 18th inning, like Freddie Freeman, you just fucking bombed that shit out of here. That
Yeah.
was incredible. You actually, okay, so like what? You're thinking circa like 2035, Bengals are out of Cincinnati.
I don't even think it's going to be that late. I have to look up like when their stadium lease and stuff is, but like
I thought they were getting a new stadium.
I don't know if they are. I don't know if they are.
I thought they were getting a new stadium. Maybe I'm wrong.
And we can
I
do the
just
research
Googled
into
Bengals new
this.
stadium. Bengals are not getting a new stadium. Yeah,
No,
true.
like that's I'm telling you right now, they are like I think they have the second cheapest owner in the NFL. Like they don't really spend their money when it comes to well, I think he's the second least wealthy. I should rephrase that. But I don't again, where is the money coming from in Cincinnati, Ohio? It's not a good market. You know what I mean? Not to say St. Louis is great, but they used to have a football team. So at least you know that they're going to
Built-in
be
rivalry
okay.
with the Chiefs.
Yeah, but again, like they used to exist, and I think that's also going to cause a little paradigm shift of divisions. Maybe they're going to be more geographically centric. Maybe the Cowboys will get the hell out of the NFC East. I don't know.
I don't think you could flip teams count. Teams are so like the divisions are so tied up with the rivalries. I don't think you could do it.
I do agree with that. No, I wouldn't change it personally.
I think yeah, it sucks. You have to travel to St. Louis, but too
Yeah.
bad. That's AFC North and St. Louis is in it. That's what we're doing. I think
Yep.
I don't. I would be shocked if they. That's crazy though. I didn't know you had that take in you. That's wild. I mean, you talk about calling your shot, Austin.
You know what? I might be the only human being in existence to ever call such a shot. But if it happens though, like just
Incredible.
know that you heard it first.
That's facts. I did. I'm blessed. I mean, this is all pre-recorded. Wow. This is incredible. What about my boy? All right, here's a last one, and then we'll get into the picks.
All right.
Now if I said to you, who's going into the Hall of Fame, right? You're just making your pick. Okay. I shouldn't do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Lock. You have to lock it. Josh Allen or Drake Maye. Do you even think Drake Maye? Is there a second?
There's a second.
Yeah,
There's a
see?
second,
It's
but
impressive.
it's not
Impressive.
a long second. It really isn't yet.
Yeah.
Because if you flip them right now, if you put Josh Allen as a second year quarterback on the New England Patriots and you put Drake Maye on a guy who has constantly come up one or two steps short, then maybe with because I still think Josh Allen is more talented than Drake Maye.
He
It's
is.
not by a wide margin,
Yeah.
but it is the way it is. I still think Josh would probably 99% of the time be the answer.
Sometimes I go back to, I think it's interesting. Stan Van Gundy one time was talking about something, and I don't know, it was in like an old Bill Simmons article on Grantland. It was actually an article about Tracy McGrady, oddly enough. We were talking about Tracy McGrady for the pod. And I was reading it, and it said, Stan Van Gundy always believes that like the difference between greatness is really, and not having greatness is very slim. And a decent amount of it's luck based. And what he means by that is like, for example, it was talking about Tracy McGrady in like 2007 or 2008. the Rockets in Game 7 lose to like a young Jazz team, Darren Williams, and I think Carlos Boozer's on that team, and just like a frisky Jazz team, right? And then um, Jazz would go on to play the Warriors, the We Believe Warriors in the second round, right? And they barely lost in Game 7. An alternate universe, Rockets win that game, and then the Rockets beat the Warriors in the semifinals, most likely. Well, then Tracy McGrady has a Western Conference Finals appearance.
Mm.
That'd be the first. He's never won a playoff series.
Really?
Tracy
Wow.
McGrady never won a playoff series
Wow.
as like the best player, I should say. He was on like
Okay.
the 2013 Spurs. Like he won playoff series
Yeah,
later,
I got you. Yeah.
but as like a best player, like he didn't win playoff series. And I think it's an interesting piece. Like just things like that where it's so slim. And I do think that sometimes with Joe Burrow, where I'm like, that was a really successful Cincinnati team in 2021. I picked him to be in the Super Bowl and win it at the start of the playoffs. Still an all-time great pick from me. And
That's funny, actually. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl and win it that year.
well, it wasn't the beginning of the year. It was January.
Oh, okay.
I just
I
said
got
this
you.
Bengals team's hot. I don't care they're the 7 seed. I have Bengals over Rams,
Yeah.
and almost hit, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I just think the margin for error with that Bengals team, there's a really easy alternate universe where like they, win that Super Bowl and everything's different. And I just think it's really interesting.
No, you make a very good point. Like, I don't know how much they attack certain positions if that happened. Like, you can't forget Joe Burrow was getting decimated even while they were winning. He got sacked, what, 9 times in that divisional round game?
Oh yeah.
Like, the issues were still there. The thing was, Joe Burrow was just playing such good football that they were winning games regardless. Like, I don't even think if you put Mahomes back there or Josh Allen back there at that point in time, they're not dealing with it.
He's
They're
playing
not.
out of his mind.
He was the best quarterback during the 2021 playoffs, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
And they barely lost to a really good Rams team with probably the best coach in the league.
yeah.
And
And Cooper
yeah,
Kupp at that time, too, was out of his mind.
that's what
So,
I'm saying. It's like it's such a crazy. So I think I've said before that Joe Burrow's become overrated, I think. But there's also a part of me that's like, it's so interesting to think just a couple things go differently. Because
mm.
remember McPherson missed his like field goal in that game
Oh, and was it, did he
in the
miss one in the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl?
Yeah, because remember he didn't go in for halftime because he wanted to watch the halftime show.
I don't know if he did. Hang on now.
I thought he missed, and that was the big talk.
No.
Is it was like, oh, well, that's what you get. You didn't go in.
I don't think it was. Everyone was like, oh, he hasn't missed it all this postseason,
I'm
so he
about to
might as
look
well
up the
celebrate it.
Super Bowl 56
No, 2 for 2.
box score. Never mind. I
Yep.
thought he missed something.
No.
Maybe I just made that up in my head because I expected him to miss, and I could just see the takes flying.
Yeah, he might have missed in the next postseason because don't forget, they were also like a play away from going back to back in the AFC
Yes, they
with the
were
late hit.
really good the next year.
Yeah, they beat the Bills in Buffalo. Arguably, if the whole DeMar Hamlin thing doesn't happen, they could have been the 1 seed. So a lot of what ifs there that we'll never know.
Remember Darnell Henderson Jr.
I don't know if I do. Who do you play
Pre,
for?
it was the running back for the Rams. Pre Kyron Williams. Just remember that. Yeah, that's Cooper Kupp had a passing attempt in that game. I remember that. It's
Yeah,
just funny. Joe Mixon also had a passing attempt.
his was a touchdown, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. It's just funny looking at this box score. But 23-20 was very doable. Like it was
yeah.
incredibly doable. And I just think it's interesting. I forgot Jesse Bates was on that team.
To me, that's where their cheapness kind of started. They pretty easily could have re-signed him, but they let him walk.
Yeah. And it was big loss. Big loss. All right. Yeah, I just think the line between greatness. It was an interesting point from Stan Van Gundy. I was like, no, sorry, I think it was Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah, regardless of who said it though, like I
It was
think the
Jeff because he's the one
difference.
that was on the Knicks coach. But yeah,
Right, right, right. Well, Stan was what, the Pistons coach?
yeah, he's
Pretty sure. Yeah,
significantly
yeah,
not as good of his job as
true.
Jeff.
But
Jeff's much better.
the NBA and the NFL are very different because in the NBA, like if you don't perform in the postseason, you are so forgotten about. But with the exception of, I guess, Tracy McGrady, because I had never like heard that he didn't win a single playoff series. Very interesting. But if you don't succeed in the postseason in the NFL, you're still around for a lot of the conversations, right?
It's
I
true.
mean, Philip Rivers comes to mind when you think about that. Trying to think of other quarterbacks right now. Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, who's kind of really not done much. You know what I mean? Like Lamar Jackson. None of these guys that have been to a Super Bowl, but they still get talked about a ton.
I mean, hell,
So
we want to talk about sliding doors and things going by. I mean, we can talk about what was it, 13 seconds?
yeah, no, you're right.
Chiefs, right?
That was a divisional game though. Don't forget that was the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, true. But I mean, the year before that, they just lost, right?
yeah, AFC Championship game that
They
the
just
Browns
flat
should have
out.
been in, but that's it's for a different time.
What'd you say?
That the Browns should have been in, but that's for a different
Oh,
time.
not the Chad Henne game. That broke my heart. That was a
It did.
tough watch.
It
That was
was.
that was tough. All right, let's get into the picks. I do have to say before we continue, my favorite running back in the NFL sadly suffered an injury this week. And what was a heartbreaking loss, I think, for me and the entirety of anyone who watches football. I mean, he got a standing ovation at the link, and he's on the opposing team.
Yeah, no, that takes a lot in the city of Philadelphia. Despite being the city of brotherly love, I don't buy that in the year 2025. But I was absolutely heartbroken. I don't have any like Camp Scatterbo fantasy, I have no ownership of them. Just I have a big gaping hole in my heart now. That's all I have.
I was, it was funny. I was so wasn't able to catch Red Zone or Sunday Ticket. That's a whole side piece on that. It was just technical difficulties. I didn't get a chance to watch Red Zone or Sunday Ticket this week, so I was just watching Bills, Panthers, and the Browns game. And then which it's got to be Shador in 2 weeks, right?
You would think Kevin Stefanski, though, has already said it's going to be Dylan Gabriel after the bye.
That's
I,
okay.
I don't know how you could speak on that
Did you
at
see the
all.
meme about Deshaun Watson saying that he doesn't want to play for Kevin Stefanski and somebody retweeted it and said extend him for 10 years, talking about Stefanski?
Dude,
It's pretty funny.
it's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess though. But like that would happen. You know what I mean? Like I just don't know.
All right, but my mom actually called me like with Camp Scadby. I heard like, hey, just wanted to let you know, like almost like a family member died. Like she was like, hey, we were watching the Giants game and Scadby went down and he snapped his ankle really bad. I just want to let you know before anybody else told you. That's how much it meant to me.
That's you know what? She's a real one for that.
She
Really
was.
is.
The mom was locked in. All right. What's up for the pick six? Should we tell the viewers what's going on for me? Or we
Yeah,
tell
you
them
know what?
now?
Let's tell him now. Actually, why not? Go
All
ahead.
right. So I've never deposited anything into my FanDuel other than my initial $5, which gave me my $500, not 500, $300 in bonus bets, which I placed on futures and around different things, whatever. I ended up with about 100, I think, $50 in winnings off my $300 in bonus bets. Um, and I ended up just leaving only about $25 in my account. And I've won a few bets, but for the most part, I'm down. And last week, we got it, so I am down to 9 cents left in FanDuel. And I pretty much refuse to deposit more. So, whatever we do today, we are creating, after the pick six, after the EV passes, we are going to create what I'm going to refer to as the Hail Mary bet. And we have to decide what we're doing.
Okay. Well, I will be the first to tell you that we are either due or doomed because last week was our personal worst. We went 1-5 last week. Everything that I had mentioned as, that's a suspicious line, got absolutely folded in half, thrown through the air like a paper airplane, and then absolutely crumpled up. It was awful. It was
Yeah.
terrible. And
Yeah.
we both
We
suffered.
both, we were, I mean, I had my big bet was $4 to win. I think it was 28. I just need Bills, Bucks, Colts, Niners, all to win. No, no spread, no nothing. And we talked about it here on the pod. It was weird that the Texans were favored. It felt like, what do they know that we don't? And as always, we should have stayed away and we didn't. We were greedy bastards. When you see a suspicious line like that, it's the reason it's suspicious. Stay away. So,
Yeah, you would think that until you start to look at what I'm taking this week. But
all right.
with that being said, let's jump into
For what it's worth, if I bet Ravens versus Cardinals for the Super Bowl, 9 cents wins me 1,800. So maybe that's
that's
like all those.
actually an insane number to be fair.
Isn't that absurd? Like all
Yeah.
those are still live, like the Super Bowl matchups.
Yeah.
Like literally, like you could bet Bengals versus Panthers for 9 cents. It wins you $2,250.
That's worth more than Ravens Cardinals?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think
I'm
it's
kind of
higher,
surprised by that.
higher odds. Yeah,
Huh.
and then I mean, anything that starts getting realistic, the numbers go down. Like, for
Well,
example, I
yeah.
don't think Eagles Texans is really a realistic Super Bowl, but 9 cents on that would win $112. So they start getting pretty realistic pretty quick.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, what's up?
Okay. Um, I'm gonna first and foremost say I fully expect this game to just be dumb, which is why this pick kind of seems weird. But I'm taking the Colts and the Steelers over 50.5 points this week at minus 105. These two teams are weird. The Indianapolis Colts, everyone knows they're the weirdest, greatest team in football. You can't even say that without a question mark
They
at the
should be
end.
like the favorite for the Super Bowl. I mean,
Maybe, right? Like you would think if
yeah.
if they weren't named the Colts, if they were named the Bills, you'd be like, well, yeah,
Well, they had a
7
different quarterback. It's
well,
also part of it.
really? Like, I don't know. Is Danny Dimes the guy?
I
I don't
think
know.
Danny
But
Dimes is part of the reason people are hung up.
that's exactly it with me too. Like, I can't that bias, I can't just forget about how bad he used to be, but maybe
Yeah,
it's the Giants. We'll see. But
it's a Giants.
this game, I have finishing 37-34 as the final score in actuality. The Pittsburgh Steelers, we'll start with them. They have one of the worst secondaries I have ever seen in football. They are awful. And I actually don't think it's the personnel, it's not the players because they have the guys there. The
Yeah,
coaching has been terrible. Terrell Austin, I have no idea why he still has a job. He should have been fired last year. That defense, which has been sculpted to be a Mike Tomlin type of defense, has been ruined. On the other side of the football, I still think Unk still got it. Aaron Rodgers is still doing good stuff.
tell
DK
Grandma Aaron
Metcalf.
Rodgers still doing it.
Tell Grant, listen, how long's Grandma been in this coma, by the way? I gotta wonder. It's getting concerning. But Aaron Rodgers has been doing great things with DK Metcalf. And Jalen Warren is having a very underrated season. I think for those two reasons, this game would be high scoring enough. Then you bring in the Colts, a team who has Jonathan Taylor, who is running away both literally and figuratively with the offensive player of the year. Daniel Jones, who's going to be the comeback player of the year, and just a very weird aura around this football team with their owner on the sideline. You don't
Yeah,
get that anywhere else.
and
I
usually
think
that
it's a
doesn't
really cool
work.
thing.
Usually that's
No,
bad. Like the
it's extra
micromanagement
pressure.
usually sucks.
No, you're absolutely right. But in this case, it works maybe because it's a low market team. I don't know. But I think 50.5 is a really weirdly high number, but it's high for a reason. Like this might go over in the third quarter.
Okay. I would not bet it because
I
there's a
know.
world where this ends 17-3. Steelers have a rough day offensively. Well, I guess Rodgers going to get you a touchdown. So like 17-10. That
Yeah.
Colts offense though has been blasting teams. So it just depends on if you believe Mike Tomlin's the man to stop him. And you're saying no, which is probably a good bet. But
And
I
again,
can't,
though,
not with my
this
9 cents, my precious
no,
9 cents. I
I,
can't.
I I get that. This Colts team again is very weird to me because I think with their record right now, I think they've played the weakest schedule in the NFL. And 8 of their next 9 games are against teams with winning records. So we're going to see their true colors, and it starts next week.
All right.
So there's that. Okay.
I do love this Colts team.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that doesn't. Like, even
Fun
if
team.
you're not hot on them, you have to at least admire what's happening there. Okay, moving on. I'm taking the Bengals plus 2.5 at home against the Chicago Bears. The Bengals just came off of the most embarrassing loss of the season. And it's not because they lost to the Jets, it's because of how they lost to the Jets. A team that has been demoralized beyond belief. Justin Fields, who was one more bad game away from missing the team flight back to MetLife, he has been awful. And you not only let them put up 39 points, you let that offense go for 500 yards after a huge win the week before against a red hot Steelers team with Joe Flacco. How does that happen? It's a mess to me. And again, for that exact reason, I don't think they can really walk into week 9 with the mindset they walked into week 8 with. They're playing a Bears team who, for the second year in a row, has started 4-2, and you start to see the wheels fall off in their next game. I thought they'd cover last week. Line opened up, by the way, at 6.5.
Yeah.
Then Lamar got announced out, dropped all the way down to 2.5. I'm like, wow, we got 4 extra points of cushion here. And they couldn't even score 20 points on that disgusting Ravens team. They gave up 30 points to Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
I can't believe the hype of the Bears right now. So I'm taking the Bengals here.
If it was Bears Jags and they played 10 times, what do you think the record is? Because I think they're
Seven to
similar
three.
spots in quality.
That's a 7-3 or 6-4. Well, I
I
guess
think it's
if
6-4 Jags.
if each team's hosting an equal amount of home games, yeah, I'd say it's fair.
Yeah. They
Okay.
just I think those are like similar quality teams. They're both going to be like a couple games short of the playoffs, nothing special.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next pick?
Okay. Again, I'm getting scared. The most confusing team in the NFC remains the San Francisco 49ers.
I agree.
They are
They've tore up the
minus
EV passes.
they're minus 2.5 this week against the New York Giants at minus 120. Why is this line this low? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense.
Feels like a
Tim
trap.
Scadaboo's gone. It's just Jackson Dart against the world. And I get it. The Giants have that good defense, and they probably should have won a couple extra games, especially against the Broncos. But guys, the Niners are a legitimate football team. They
Yep.
just need Brock Purdy to come back and get healthy. They didn't even use
Yep.
George Kittle a couple weeks ago, and they were just fine. I don't understand. Again, I don't know how Vegas reads the Niners. The way I read them is completely different, and obviously I read them wrong based on past bets. But I mean, at some point, they Vegas cannot win all of these like weird lines. I think this is the one where like, no way the Giants cover 2 points, right?
All right, so the counter argument is America's team, Jackson Dart, upset, rolls in their storybook almost. A little too good to be true. Beats a Niners team nobody thought they'd beat. This one was for Cam. Locker room partying after. Dayball might save his job. That's the argument against. It also could be one of those that maybe they're getting like they're setting that line knowing that a lot of people want to bet the Giants this week anyway. Like if that line was 6.5, would you and I kind of be like, hey, Giants got some fire in them?
Yeah, no, I could see them covering like maybe losing
You get what I'm saying?
24-18 type of game. I could see
Yeah.
that 100%. But if I go right now to that game and I look at the distribution of money, I'm very curious what it's at. Yeah. 79% on the Niners spread. I'm scared. I don't like being a part of the majority.
How do you get
It's
that
not a
number?
fun place to be. If you go to DraftKings and you click on the game, they'll have a little drop down menu. You can see the percentage of money line spread and then over under.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you ever feel like you're too much of a sheep, you can actually confirm. So
Okay,
yeah.
what's next?
All right. I'm taking this one's a little bit weird for me. It's a huge line, but I can't pass it up. I'm taking the Rams minus 13 and a half at home against the Saints. Listen, um, the Saints, I do want to bring this up first and foremost. Probably the funniest video I've seen all week. It was a Saints fan account. It was a Boondocks clip where Uncle Ruckus is like talking about hanging whoever the criminal is that's in court. I don't know if you've seen the Boondocks or not. Really funny clip though. And it basically said like me if Spencer Rattler were convicted of jaywalking. They hate that man with their entire heart and soul. They can't stand him. So like I listen, I understand where you're coming from as a franchise that has had nothing but quarterback issues. You've only had to deal with it since Drew Brees retired. That's been 5 years. You have another 15 to go. Relax. But that being said, I I think this line is high for a reason. It's to keep the betters away from it. But I like this Rams offense too much. They're coming off the bye. Devontae Adams has been excellent. 3 touchdowns in their game in London a couple weeks ago. Matthew Stafford, it seems like a 6 touchdown game for Matthew Stafford. I'll be real.
Well, the Saints fans also did that with Derek Carr. So I mean, they're just a fiery fan base.
It's
Remember, they
true.
hated Derek Carr.
They did.
And Like once they fell apart after the first 3 weeks
Saints
last year.
Derek Carr is going to be a TikTok slideshow player in a couple of years, probably.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be one of those. Derek Carr is on the perfect path to be like one of those guys in like 10 years. People are like, drop ball knowledge, name forgotten quarterback. Someone's like Derek Carr, and it's like that guy was a starter for like 6 years. He's not a forgotten quarterback, but there's somebody out there who like think it's a deep cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
In the way that like Tumani Kamara, if you don't watch a lot of NBA, is a deep cut. But to anybody who watches the NBA, it's like, yeah, I know who fucking Tumani Kamara is.
It's a good point.
No, okay. The only thing with this one is, and I actually like this pick because we just talked about there were like no close games last week. We are hitting that point in the season where teams start to just steamroll.
Yes. Yep.
The weakest part of the NFL season, pretty much every year, is the Halloween to Thanksgiving stretch. That is usually when you it's like weaker games. And then in December, it kicks back up because teams are trying to get ready for the playoffs. Playoff pushes start firing up, and you get some really great action. Early on, teams are trying to set the tone. Everybody's got high hopes. Right now, teams have kind of accepted their role. There's not going to be a lot of surprises from here on out.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And I didn't realize how much of a dogfight the NFC West is right now. The Niners are third at
Yeah.
5-3. It's pretty crazy. So
Not a lot of action on the Cardinals, I bet.
no, it's not even worth your 9 cents. I can't lie
Uh,
to you.
uh,
No. All right. I First of all, before I even announced my next pick, I was scrolling CBS here and I had to do a double take. The over under for the Chiefs Bills game this week is at 52 and a half. Seems like a hefty number for like I know those two teams usually play a very competitive game. I don't feel like it's always high scoring though. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but I
in the
think the
playoffs
Chiefs
it is.
defense is worse than usual, and the Bills defense isn't that great. I think it's
It's
probably
fair.
we're fine. Here's the thing.
Maybe.
I agree. You should bet it, but such a tough watch if you do bet it, and at halftime it's like 21-24, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, screw me.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. But while we are on the topic of that game, here's another one where Vegas got me. Bills money line at plus 105. Yeah, they're plus money at home. I can't not take the Bills when they're plus money at home. It's too good to not take. And it's also
Yes.
probably going to be too good to be true. I
Yeah.
love this Chiefs team actually. Like a lot more than people really do. You know, like I've been with the Chiefs every week that we've had a primetime game. I've picked them. They've
hmm
actually given me a lot of success, which has been cool.
Jags was like the only one you missed on.
Yes, but huge win against the Lions, big win against the Commanders. They had one other primetime game I'm trying to think of. Oh, Giants, couple way back, week 3. Um, they have won. What is it now? 5 of their last 6 games. So again, I still think that they are one of the best teams in football, and maybe they're being slept on this year. But I'm not betting against Josh Allen in Orchard Park at a 425 game with Jim Nantz, Tony Romo on the call. Not doing it.
Best team in football, like as far as broadcast. Probably the best network score bug. They also have the scores in the corner, which I think is a nice touch. Yeah, it's a fun game. Um, it's the yearly Bills Chiefs game, right? And I think there's always one regular season. There seems to be always one playoff, right? This was the one I was eyeing with the 9 cents. Like we tie this up with some other stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
I was kind of eyeing this one. The Bills looked ready to play last week, dude. Like Braden bet the alternative spread,
Hmm.
and he bet it like a lesser version of the spread for the Bills. I was like, dude, you should have smashed it. I was like, you guys are going to kill us. I was like, you don't need to worry. And I was right to tell him that
Yeah,
because the Bills murdered the Panthers. And I really hope Bryce Young's back this week. Because we're a tough watch without him. So I
yeah.
like the Bills at home too. I do think they're going to win. If they don't, I think like which one is more narratively damaging? Because I think the narrative is kind of in Allen's hands right now. I think for the most part, people believe he is better.
You know, I, like this is kind of a double-edged sword. This game means a lot on an individual basis between Mahomes versus Allen in the history, but also in this season where the Bills have already lost 2 games and the Chiefs have already lost 3 games. It's a big hit to your season if you lose this game. So
Yeah.
I think, obviously, I think while many people think Allen is the better quarterback than Mahomes, you could argue that Mahomes obviously is the greater quarterback. The accolades are there, the head to head is there. Um, but when it comes to these two teams right now, I just feel like this is a very similar place to where they were. I think it was 2 years ago when they played in the regular season. And actually, it might have been last year because weren't the Chiefs, were they undefeated when they went to Buffalo last year? Or was that the year before? Whatever year they went to Buffalo, they were undefeated. They had like that block kick against Denver. I think it was last year.
Were they undefeated?
They started out like 8-0. Yeah. The Chiefs were 14-3 last year, I'm pretty sure. People forget about
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah. I thought it was 15
again,
and 2.
I think they rested starters there last week, pretty sure.
No, I think they were 15 and 2, and the only game they lost was to the Bills, and then they lost to the starters last week.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, you are.
I think that's what it was. I'm looking at it right now. I just
Yeah,
pulled up
I'm
last year's
thinking of the
schedule.
Eagles. I think the Eagles lost 3 games.
Yeah,
I might
so
have lost
last
4.
year, November 17th, 2024, 30 to 21.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs beat everybody else, and they lost that last week. 38-0 to the Broncos. Then turned around, beat the Texans, beat the Bills by a field goal in the
Mm,
AFC Championship.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even care if I lose this bet. It's gonna be such a good game, no matter what. So
I get why it's the 4 o'clock slate because you use Bills and the Chiefs separately a lot on
yeah,
prime time, but it's such a shitty prime time week. They should have been
yeah, yep,
like I bet at the beginning of the year, Kami's Seahawks looked better, but so if Daniels doesn't play, it's not. Yeah, I mean it might be. Yeah,
yeah.
I do you have a bet for the Seahawks because they're gonna win.
I do. Um, Let me just get this out of the way. I am anticipating Jaden Daniels comes back this week because I think, based on reports that I've read, him not playing last week was a major safety precaution going through what they went through with RG3. Let's not risk the future of our franchise on a regular season game. I get that. But they lost that game last week badly. Marcus Mariota finally showed why he's a backup quarterback in the NFL,
Yeah,
and they need their leader back. I think being what are they 3-4, 3-5 now?
yeah.
Let me look. They are they're 3-5. Wow, they cannot lose this game. Therefore, they will either lose close or win. So I'm taking the Commanders plus 3.5 at -115.
I will not spend any money on that bet. That's so dangerous,
It
but
is
I respect it.
Sunday night football. I've had numerous surge sixes come down. Last year, in particular, it was yeah, Seahawks Packers. I put my full faith in Gino, and he let me
Really.
down. I was like 12th man, Sunday night football. Just something in the air in Seattle. No, it was
No.
the ass of Geno Smith.
All right, what's next?
That's it. No, that's pick six right there.
All right, little thing I'm noticing, Broncos are not favored against the Texans.
Oh, I did know that actually.
Part of me is
Where are they?
thinking for my 9 cent Hail
Yeah,
Mary, I'm
yeah,
thinking Rams, Lions, money line. Those are locks. Lions are
yeah.
playing Vikings.
Okay.
Okay. Even if JJ back, they're not going to win.
No.
I'm going to take the Bills plus 108 money line. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're at $1.53, right? To win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we throw on, we got to throw on, I think, one or two more picks. I kind of like the Colts minus 162 against Pittsburgh.
Okay. Again, we talked about this last week. Mike Tomlin doesn't usually lose back-to-back games. How often does he lose three in a row? Mm,
You're right.
mm,
You're right.
I don't know. And
Staying away. Staying
historically,
away.
the Colts tend to play, or the Steelers, I should say,
I
play
just
pretty
need like
good
one
against the
more,
Colts.
and the Bengals at plus 120
Niners?
is screaming to me.
Niners?
I don't want to bet against the Giants. They're too fun to root for.
Okay.
Bengals plus 120 is 20 is screaming. Like screaming out this green. But do I want to bet on Joe Flacco and the Bengals against the
I could
Bears?
easily see Caleb throwing for like 400 yards though. And it's
That's
not
the
because he's
problem.
great. It's because the Bengals are awful.
And I want to bet Broncos Texans,
Yeah,
but
that's a trap game.
it's a trap game.
It is.
Complete
That's why I
trap
stayed away.
line.
Yep.
Because why would anyone bet on the Texans?
The Broncos have won 5 games in a row. They are red hot. Like I don't see a way in which they lose, but because Vegas thinks they will, they will. I don't
All
know.
right. Here's what we're gonna do. This is also a trap game.
Okay.
Patriots red hot. Falcons coming off an embarrassing loss.
Yep.
Patriots -5.5. That's the choice.
Okay.
I think it's the right move. I love Drake Maye. Time to put my money where my mouth is. Is 5.5 too much though?
I don't know. Here's the thing about the Patriots. Every week, I think they get out to a slow start, including last week. Browns had a first quarter lead actually at the end of the first quarter.
We'll
They
just
were
take
up.
their money line. We'll just take their money
Okay.
line,
All right.
and we're gonna throw in the Packers money line while we're at it. No, it doesn't even add much value. It's not worth it. I honestly like the Titans +10.5. They're not gonna get waxed by the Chargers.
I thought about that. Yeah. Again, it just seems like when the Chargers play the Giants too, and I took the Giants straight up that week. Like it just feels like a weird game. Although this time they don't lose. They win in like overtime with a last second field goal. I don't know.
But I don't want to bet that, and then I'm sitting there and Chargers are up 17-3, and I'm kicking myself.
True. I don't know.
But 10.5, it's such a large line, dude.
It is. That extra half point gives you a nice little cushion. You never know.
Is that it? So what we would do for the Hail Mary,
Hmm.
Bills money line, Rams money line, Lions money line, Patriots money line, and then Titans 10.5. It's to win
What's that pay?
540.
540. Okay. All right.
Do we
And
remove the Titans and just accept 254?
baby steps here. Yeah.
Remove Titans.
Yeah.
I agree. Because the only one you're really sweating then is that Bills game.
Yeah. I like it.
All right.
Hmm.
That's it.
Okay. And if anybody out there again is bold enough to parlay my picks together, which you have not successfully done yet, but hey, we might be due. That'll win you 489.62 off the $10 bet this week.
I meant to say, for what it's worth, I accidentally was typing in that for 90 cents. This is 9 cents. I'm going to win a quarter if all that happens.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like, wow, those are
Really great numbers.
relatively
I'm
high
still
odds.
doing it. I'm gonna bet it and get a quarter because then we'll have a dime
Should
to work with next
should
week.
you wait to see if you get a profit boost maybe on Sunday?
Yeah, yeah, we will.
Okay.
We will.
Okay.
It's probably a good call by you. So we're gonna wait. I'm gonna screenshot this so I
There
remember
you
it,
go.
and then we're gonna do that, and we're gonna move into that's the Hail Mary.
Okay.
Just four straight up picks. It's the Hail Mary. All right,
I like it.
let's move into prime time picks. All right, Thursday night football, Ravens at Dolphins. I have the Ravens here. Everybody has the Ravens here. You probably have the Ravens here.
Yeah, hang on. How did we do last week?
Oh, that's my bad.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I
hey,
was
you're
trying
good.
to
You're good.
skip
You're
over the fact that I thought Jaden Daniels wouldn't play. Sorry, I thought Jaden
good.
Daniels would play, and then he did, and it was my bad because I thought he was going to be there, and he wasn't. So then you won because we had all the same picks except for Monday Night Football, and you had Chiefs and I had Commies, and you won. So you went 3-0, and I went 2-1.
I went 2-1. You went 1-2. We both took Pittsburgh because
Oh
I
my gosh, I
flipped.
forgot yeah, they're the
Yeah,
reason they cost me money. My
yeah.
bad.
I completely changed your mind on the pod last week, actually. So
And it made you the winner of the week. So congrats.
I don't think it would have mattered. Well, no, it would have. We would have tied. It's true.
Would
It's
have
true.
tied. So yeah,
Yeah.
would have pushed. All right. I have the Ravens on Thursday night. Lamar's back. They need to win every game possible. Kitchen sink game.
Yep. And this was the trap game in 2020. I'm trying to think what year it would have been two, where they played a Dolphins team that was very similar. They were like 1-6, and the Ravens were pushing towards playoffs, and they lost for no good reason.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that happens this time though. I don't care if it's Lamar, Tyler Huntley, you or me. Tell grandma if she's up and moving, she can play quarterback. It's gonna be 34-14.
Grandma, you
Ravens are
know who
gonna
still
win.
got it? You. Get
Yeah,
out.
grandma, you still got it.
You
You
still
got it.
got it. Get out there. Seahawks commies in Washington. I have Hawks here. Seahawks have been like they're the Colts of the NFC, but they just don't get talked about.
It's true. And I'm gonna postpone that talk one more week. I have the commies 27-24.
Wow. You think it's a hey, don't forget about us. We're still pretty good commies game?
It has to be. Like again, it's in DC, which is a long distance for Seattle to travel. I'm not saying it's going to be a big deal, but it's going to be dominated by Commander fans for one. It's just again a team that had a lot of pressure put on them this year because of the things they did last year, which were unexpected. I don't know how to feel about this team. They're probably a top three weirdest team for me right now because injuries have played a factor. But again, I just don't feel like even if Daniels was healthy every week, I don't feel like they would be any better than like 4-4, maybe 5-3. But I cannot see them falling to 3-6.
I honestly thought about taking them to be in the Super Bowl. Like it's such
Yeah,
a weird team. There were some people saying they wouldn't make the playoffs. There were some teams that think they were going to be in the Super Bowl. Like there's some people that were all over this team. Some people that are way out, and so it has been a weird team. Um, so I mean, it's dangerous to bet on it. I think there's a world where Daniels is awesome, but he's just been hurt too much.
it's true.
All right, Monday Night Football, Cardinals at Cowboys. Kyler Murray never lost an AT&T. They're going to say
How many
that.
times has he played there?
Oh, he's played some there in college too.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Yeah, that streak ends in week 9.
Yeah,
Cowboys are another team I don't feel like is talked about enough. I took them to beat Denver last week. They disappointed me big time.
yeah, it
I
was.
still
Yeah,
think they have the offense for it, and the Cardinals just can't run with them. Taking the Cowboys 24-6 in this one.
I have Cowboys too. I think the Cowboys are a beat the bad teams, lose to the good teams team, and which maybe means the Panthers are a good team for what it's worth. But uh, yeah, and Dak Prescott. Dak has a really good game. Everybody's talking about Dak on social media. Cowboys are so lucky they have Dak, but the team's shitty game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Um, again, you said it earlier. Primetime, what an awful slate of primetime games. Like, I know there are certain, we have to be able to flex games now because you said weeks 8 through 12 are like the worst. The reason that the future weeks after that are better are because TV deals allow them to flex games during those same week. I'm pretty sure they need like a 2 or 3 week heads up to do it in the middle of the year. They should just let them roll because, like, I'd love to see the Colts and Steelers
I was
on
just about to
Monday
say
night.
Colts Steelers would be my pick for
Yeah,
Monday night,
that'd be
and
great.
then you would do obviously Bills Chiefs Sunday night. And honestly, I Ravens Fins is going to be not good,
No,
but like it's Thursday.
yeah,
We had a great stretch of Thursday night football games. Like,
we did.
let me just
We
rip
have
off
been
for you.
blessed beyond belief because usually Thursday night is awful.
Thursday
So,
night is usually known as shitters. And like we started off first week was that Chiefs. No, Chiefs was sorry, it wasn't Chiefs Chargers. It was because that was I think it was like a Saturday, wasn't it? Or was it Friday? It was a Brazil game. Whatever. What was the it was the opener for the year, which was Eagles Cowboys, which wasn't great because the rain delay, but it was interesting, right?
mhm.
Then we got Washington at Green Bay. Green Bay pretty triumphantly won. Washington did a little bit. But then we went on a stretch where it was Buffalo, Miami in a game that we thought would be awful and wasn't. Seattle, Arizona, which was a good time. And then LA, San Francisco, which was a great time, went to OT. New York,
Yeah,
Philadelphia, which was awesome. And then Steelers, Bengals, which was surprisingly fun. And then last week, we're back to form with Minnesota, Los Angeles. And from here on out, it's Baltimore, Miami, which won't be a good game. Denver, Vegas, which won't be a good game. Buffalo, sorry, New York, New England, which won't be a good game. Buffalo,
Titans are on there here soon too. I'm pretty sure.
no, they're not.
Thank God.
They don't have a prime time all year. It's
I
crazy.
thought they had one. I thought the Browns and Saints were the only two teams that didn't.
No, I don't think they do. Because Buffalo, Houston play, which will be maybe interesting. Chicago, Philly's not going to be fun. Dallas, Detroit might be kind of fun.
Oh, you're right.
Atlanta, Tampa could be something. And then LA, Seattle could be really good. And Denver, KC could be really good. So once again, look at that. The middle week sucked.
Yeah.
The middle of the NFL season, this credit to the NBA with having a better product right now because this is the time to do. I mean, I'm more interested in early NBA right now than I have been usually because the NFL stuff right now is not that good. So hopefully the Blue Jays win the World Series, but I think we're heading towards a Dodgers win and a lockout in 2 years. Thoughts?
Yeah. Now MLB lockout is imminent. I think it'd be really cool if every team that wasn't the Dodgers just refused to play. They're like, all right, see how much money you can make now in the MLB. I think they will implement a cap floor before a cap ceiling. We'll see.
Well, the problem with the cap ceiling is if you say this is the cap, we already have teams over it.
Exactly. So
Because
you
Shohei's making
probably
so
you
much
have
money.
to
You have
set
to
the
grandfather.
deadline at like 2035 or 2040. You have to be like, okay, by this year, you have got to be under this number. You know what I mean?
Or you just say from now on, you're under this number. Everything you have right now is like essentially, oh, that wouldn't make sense because you could just sign a bunch of guys then. Yeah, you're right. You would have to give them a deadline. It's so hard to put in a
They're in a tough
cap, though.
spot. Yeah, they are.
I mean, Rob Manfred gets hated on. I agree to it, don't get me wrong, but in the same sense, I think he has done some good things with baseball. And if they put in a salary cap and a salary floor, we're gonna have to give him some credit. I mean, this is not me saying I'm a Rob Manfred lover, but I am
Yeah.
saying, you know, I'm interested to see what Adam Silver has to say with the FBI.
I'll be there no matter what. I don't care when it happens. It could be at 4 in the morning from Shanghai just for safety. I'll be there.
What's the opening line
It'd be hilarious if it was to my fellow Americans, but it won't go that
with
far.
his voice? To
Yeah.
my fellow Americans.
Oh
Wait,
man.
Silver, I think you're actually from Mars. You look like an
Yeah.
alien, so you and Wemby.
Mr. Stern. Oh, wrong one, guys.
Did I call him Stern?
No, no, no. I'm just saying that'd be hilarious if that were his opening
Oh,
line.
okay. I was like, I thought I said
Yeah.
Silver, right?
Yeah. You got it.
Adam Silver. As long as I've watched the NBA, it's been Adam Silver.
Yeah. No, me too.
All right. See you, pal. It was great.
Yep.
Hail Mary.